not a religious person, but don't you guys find it weird that Christianity and believing in God is like the taboo or weird thing to do? People can mock Christianity, but God forbid someone attacks like the Muslim religion and everyone will freak out. Even when I see celebrities clearly worshiping like Satan and I point it out and people are just like, oh, it's just art, or oh, it's just a cheap way to get views. Worshipping Satan is? Call me crazy, but no matter what religion you are, even if you're atheist, worshipping Satan, I'm not sure why that's on the top of it's fine list. For some reason, there's a huge stigma between Christianity and worshipping God that people just immediately associate them with like being racist or something crazy. Don't you find it odd that Hollywood or the music industry has no really positive references to God or Christianity? There is blatant Satanism in music videos, and every time someone tries to point it out, they're looked at like they're crazy. Even people in Hollywood, when they spoke out about Satanism in videos, they're looked at like they're crazy by the media. Don't you find that a little suspicious?
Yeah, you are religious, but I find your whole video to be very ill-informed. I'm gonna try to go beat by beat on what this gentleman was just saying. Let's start at the very beginning. You are very religious. Because you believe in this book or you believe in a God of this book, that makes you religious. I know Christians today try to separate themselves and say that I have relationship. You do not have a relationship. You have a religion that you try to claim your God is knowable, and you know your God. And if your God is knowable, then that means your God is limited. So therefore, you cannot know your God. And if you cannot know your God, then you cannot have relationship with your God, because you have to know your God, be intimate with your God in order to have relationship with your God. You don't have that. You just have a good little feeling in your tummy, and that's about all it is. So you are religious. Now, you say that people, they can attack Christianity and people not say anything, but people would lose their shit if they were to attack Islam. Well, you haven't been paying attention much, have you? Because there are literally thousands of people who have walked away from Islam, and they are attacking, debunking Islam, not attacking, but debunking Islam left and right. And as a matter of fact, if you are Christian and you are saying that your religion is the only religion, guess what you're doing? You're trying to debunk, or in your words, attacking Islam. If you are a Christian and you are saying, I support Israel no matter what they do, because God said those who bless Israel will be blessed and those who curse Israel will be cursed, and you believe that, then no matter what they are doing and you side with them, guess who you're attacking? Islam. If you got a problem with the Saudi families, you got a problem with the UAE and all these other places because they're Muslim, you're attacking Islam. If you're trying to change their way of living by saying that, well, women shouldn't have to be in the back and women should have equal treatment, in all the countries where women aren't treated fairly and they're in the Islamic country, guess what you're doing? You're attacking Islam. If you say the Muslims are trying to take over American politics because American is a Christian country, you're attacking Islam. You know what it also makes you? It makes you freaking racist, because most Muslims are brown people. Most of them, they brown. And you're trying to use their religion as a form of kind of segueing your racism in there. Plus your book, it tells you to be racist, or at least ethnicist. I don't even know if that's a word, but it tells you to be that, because that the only people who are God's children are the Israelites. And then of course the Gentiles are added to, like red-headed stepchildren, as we used to say back in the day. But you're still being that way when you create that separation between people based on a religion, and then you look at brown people, black people, yellow people, and you try to say that there's something about them that's beneath you, unless they're Christian. But even when they're Christian, the most segregated day in America is Sunday. Christianity said that black people don't have souls. Black people are less than. Isn't that not racism? That black people should be slaves, because your book says in Leviticus 25 that the foreigners who live amongst you and the foreigners of other nations, they become your slaves in perpetuity. So don't tell me that your book doesn't promote racism. Your book promotes racism, ethnicism, what else can I make up? Religious-isms, all kind of isms is what your book perpetuates constantly. And then you make this broad thing. You're just jealous because you're not famous. That's the problem, because you want some clicks and views yourself. But you make these broad statements. Oh, they're worshiping the devil. They're worshiping Satan. And the dumbest statement was saying these atheists who worship Satan. Do you not know the word, what atheism means? It means they don't worship nothing. They don't believe in the God. They don't believe in the devil. Neither one of them. Yeah, you don't even know how to define the people to which you're trying to talk about. But the fact remains is this. You just make the claim, oh, they're worshiping Satan because they might have a skull or horns or something like that. Things that you have created that the world media throughout history and time have said this is what Satan looks like. If it wasn't for Dante's Inferno, you wouldn't even picture Satan with horns on his head, which horns represent power. And that's why you got that statue of Moses over there in Italy with horns on his head, because it represents power. It doesn't represent Satan. According to your book in Ezekiel, Satan, Lucifer, or this angel, was a beautiful angel. But it's Dante's Inferno that got you thinking of forked tongues and long tails and horns on their head and being red and all these sorts of things. But you don't know what these people are worshiping. You don't know what these people are believing. You're just making up stuff based on what you have decided, because you are such a Zionist, such a radical, that you believe that your religion is the only religion and it is the right religion, and therefore everything else is wrong, wrong, wrong. How do you feel about the fact that the overwhelming majority of Satanists follow the creed of do what thou wilt as long as you don't harm anybody else? You don't like that one. You'll just go directly to the sect of them that says that, hey, we can, harm people and do these other ritual sacrifices and things of that nature. Those are the ones you'll point out, and you'll turn a blind eye to the others. That would be like me saying that every Christian is based on Mormonism, based on the racial profiling, racist Mormonism, women drowning in supremacy, male supremacy Mormonism. And you would say, if I said that, you was like, oh, you're just categorizing all of them the same. But you just did that, dude. You just did that, which shows that you are very ignorant of what people believe, how people believe, what people are actually doing, because all you see, and then you're defining the world based on what little bit of the world that you actually see and that you actually know. And if you actually studied your book, you would see that your book has more treachery in it than any other book that has been written. But you have a great day. And remember always, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.